Key points. Romeo. The first thing to note about Romeo is he's not aggressive by nature. He's very far away from the brawl that starts the play, and when he hears about it, he seems weary of all the inter-family fighting. He does not actively seek violent encounters and does not want to perpetuate the ancient grudge. At the start of the play, Romeo is more interested in wallowing in his unrequited love for Rosaline. The language he uses here is full of oxymorons, showing the pleasure and pain that love can cause. You could argue that his language is almost too poetic. He uses imagery and phrases that were common to love poetry of the time. This makes him sound insincere, like he's playing the role of a spurned lover rather than expressing genuine feelings. However, he does have some real feelings for Rosaline, as the hope of seeing her at the Capulet party is what draws Romeo to the feast. Having said that, Rosaline is never mentioned again, as it's love at first sight when he lays eyes on Juliet. Romeo spends the rest of this final scene in Act 1 flirting with Juliet, and he uses religious imagery to give weight to his flirtations. At the end of the party scene, they realise that they are from rival households. During Act 2 Scene 2, he goes back to the Capulet mansion to woo Juliet in the famous balcony scene. The balcony scene shows he's romantic, but also reckless. He risks his life by being on the Capulet property. The morning after, he goes to visit his friend and confidant, Friar Lawrence. The friar chides Romeo for dropping Rosaline and for the speed at which he has fallen in love with Juliet. Romeo defends his impetuous feelings, and at the end of Act 2, the friar performs a secret marriage ceremony for the young couple. Romeo enters Act 3 Scene 1 brimming with the joy of his marriage, but this quickly evaporates due to the brawl that ends in Mercutio's death. Even though Act 3 Scene 1 is a turning point for Romeo because of his actions, his recklessness and the inherent part of his personality discussed earlier fuels his fury at Tybalt. He does not stop to consider the consequences that killing Tybalt might bring. We have seen him reckless in love, and now we see him reckless in his violence. The punishment should be death, but Romeo is lucky that he is a noble and gets a more lenient sentence of banishment for killing Tybalt. Romeo does not see the banishment as anything less than death, as it means he will no longer be able to see Juliet. To him, no Juliet means no life. The friar tries to make him count his blessings, but the intensity of Romeo's passion for Juliet makes him equate Juliet with life. The newlyweds do manage to meet up for one last night before he is sent away. We do not see Romeo at all in Act 4. Romeo misses all the communications that Friar Lawrence frantically tries to send him about the plan regarding Juliet and the sleeping potion. When Balthazar tells Romeo that Juliet is dead, he believes him because he never gets to hear about the friar's plan. Romeo feels that he is fated to have bad luck. He does not feel in control of his life, and yet his reaction to the news is characteristic. He recklessly decides to make his way back to Juliet's body and kill himself so that they are joined in death. He procures poison and makes his way back to Verona. He is prepared to stop at nothing in order to lay by Juliet's side. He kills Paris, who is mourning outside Juliet's tomb, and then takes the poison so that he can join Juliet in death, a sorry end to his tragic life.